I walk outside and all the noise starts. Branches everywhere. No wind, no rain. Branches everywhere, every day. I could pick up all the branches on the property, and then overnight they reappear. Witchcraft, it's witchcraft. They like to dirty your property, perform their rituals. They especially do it on the weekends. They got the whole little cult gang, little coven, dumping trash all over my property. This morning, Foxy was out. While I was in the live stream last night, I did not leave eggs out for Foxy because there were coons and possums that usually eat it. So Foxy was really hungry this morning, so I gave Foxy ate a lot of cat food and a bunch of eggs. But then Foxy did something unthinkable, went after one of my chickens. Fortunately, she went to hide under a building. When Foxy tried to get her, she came out, and I grabbed her and put her in the coop. I examined her, and she was really shaken up. She was wearing an apron, which probably saved her. But I looked around her neck and whatever. There was no puncture wounds. So I put her in there to recover. And I went into the cats building to feed the cats and take care of them and clean up after they clean the litter. I came out. The chicken is gone. She's a barred rock, and she was wearing a red apron. She was gone, and I'm thinking, that's really strange. Either she recovered very quickly, she got scared out of there, or somebody stole her. So I have not seen her since. And we're talking about, like, since 10 o'clock this morning, and it's now almost 3 p.m. I have not seen her. I am absolutely convinced that somebody, the inhumane team criminal that camps out on my property, probably picked her up and stole her. There's absolutely no reason why she would have left the coop. If she were not feeling well, she would have stayed there. She would have hunkered down. And I was probably in the cats building at least 20 minutes. And when I came out to check on her, she was gone. I have not seen her since. So that's my thoughts. I mean, unless she got scared and she went to hide somewhere. But it's very unusual that I would not have seen her by now. Even if she wasn't feeling well, and even if for some reason her wounds were worse, she would have stayed in the chicken coop and she would have died there. But I haven't not seen her since, and I'm concerned. I really think that somebody took advantage of the fact that she was wounded, recovering, that I have to do my errands here on the property, and these very sadistic, sick people follow me around. And for those of you who don't believe it, this is really happening here in Jackson County, Kentucky, because this is where I live. And look at how blurry it is. Let me see why. So this is the property. It's quite large. You can see how it is definitely possible for somebody to be here and might not be able to see them if they're cloaked. So so I am missing this girl. So either she's in deep hiding, and again, I don't know why she would have left the coop if she weren't feeling well. There was food in there. She would have stayed in there to recover. It's not like there's any reason for her to have jumped out. I have not seen her since. I'm looking all over for her. And I think that somebody, the opportunist, saw that she was wounded to get even with me, to further harass me. It's a form of torture because it happens every day. Using my animals to perform their rituals, and they stole her. I believe they stole her. I will correct myself if I'm wrong. If I find her, I will definitely let you know. But it's very unusual. And we know our pets. We know our pets' behaviors. We know their habits. We know what they do. We know how they behave. And look, there's just branches everywhere. Just everywhere. It doesn't matter. I could pick all of these branches up. And see, this is witchcraft. And no, I don't have my gloves with me, but you see that black one there? That didn't come off any of my trees. These are the things that they bring with them. Their ritual devices. And yes, I should have my gloves on, but I came out without my gloves just to take out the garbage. And while I took out the garbage, I decided, well, let me just pick up some branches that have fallen around. So like here, so this is what they do. They throw branches everywhere on my property. This is fake erosion. Oh, look at how blurry it is. This is all fake erosion. Why is it so blurry? This is all fake erosion. And let me see why. Again, this is all fake erosion. This is something that they've done with their energy weapons. So here we've got a large branch. And this is what they do. They like to dig up around the trees. They want to deliberately cause a tree to fall, to collapse. This is a very steep slope. But it wasn't this steep. They've actually made it this steep. I used to be able to easily walk here, but they've created the slope, the incline, very steep, and they have, with their energy weapons, deteriorated the property. They have vandalized it with their energy weapons. The energy weapons can burn up soil. The energy weapons can burn grass, burn foliage, burn to the root systems of trees. They can burn rock. And that's what they've done here to my property here. They have created a very sloped incline that didn't exist before. And you can see that there is soil and grass missing from that location. And I don't know why my camera is so distorted now. I use this to create my videos this week, but it's like when I'm outside, they don't want me to photograph anything, usually because there's somebody on the property. They know that one of you guys will pick up on whomever it is that's following me around here as I'm speaking and collecting all the bitchcraft. They don't want you to see what's going on here. These are criminals. This is a criminal cartel in Jackson County, Kentucky. And I want to thank everybody for joining in the live stream last night. We were very fortunate. There were no perpetrators that I'm aware of. We had a good group of people there. We were having a nice conversation about everything. All you smart people. And it is a safe place to share information, share URLs, have conversations about our targeting during the week, things that have worked and not worked for us. And this is the way we validate each other's experiences, because you are not alone and you are not crazy, and this really is happening to you. And if ever on your channel or videos you receive feedback like, take your meds, you're schizophrenic, oh, that sounds crazy, whatever, just know that that is a perpetrator. They have set these people up for pay to infiltrate targeted channels, and some of them are by other YouTube creators. I'm not going to say anything more on that topic, but I've had several people contact me to, I'm going to say, help them out, collaborate with them, or whatever. I don't like these people. I will not be collaborating with them. So, and this is what happens. But it happens not only to targeted people, it happens all across the internet. There are a lot of nefarious people out there that want to piggyback on whatever it is that you're doing, and I'm more than happy to help somebody else, achieve their goals or whatever. But there are a lot of nefarious people out there, and my spidey radar has been perfected since being in this program. So anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading on Sunday. Hope everybody's doing well. And this is some of the garbage that I've picked up here so far. And you can see how blurry my camera is. Why is that? Everything's nice and clean, but it's all blurry. But anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. I'm still looking here. I do not see my girl. She looks like this one here. This is a barred rock, but this one is wearing a blue apron, and the one who was attacked this morning is wearing a red apron, and I have not seen her since. She's not in the chicken coop. She's not hanging out back in here. I don't know where she is. I do believe that with the criminal that stalks me, the inhumane team member that's on my property 24/7, or I should say they're in shifts, I believe picked her up. Otherwise, she would have still been in the coop this morning 20 minutes, 25 minutes later, or I would have seen her by now. But anyway, say a prayer for her that she was stolen, and these Luciferian Satanists are evil doers here in Jackson County, Kentucky. And I will be doing another video later today about the criminal that works at the Jackson County PVA, the Property Valuation Assessment Office, who is a pathological liar, who's mean-spirited. He's been in office a couple of years now, and I have nothing but horrible interactions with him where he is a gaslighter projecting his anger onto me. And I have it in writing that my property taxes were exonerated. That was effective February 18th of this year, in writing. And then at some point, this loser, this corrupt official, takes it upon himself to assign a value without ever having been to my property. He never set up an appointment. He's never been here. And then claims that he sent me an assessment letter, which is false, because I receive USPS informed delivery, where they tell me and photograph a copy of the letter and send it to my email. And I never received such an email from USPS with a copy of the alleged fake assessment letter that he allegedly sent in June of this year, which he did not do, because I would have received a copy of it in my email, and I would have received it, and obviously I would have refuted it within the allocated time frame, which I am legally permitted to do. But he did not send me, and even through a FOIA request, he did not send me a copy of the letter that he claims to have sent. So he's a pathological liar, and we're going to be calling out him. We're going to be calling him out in a public way, in a separate video, and make sure that he gets reported to the Attorney General and the Taxation Department and anybody else who's willing to listen. And if there's anybody out there, I might tag a couple of people who is willing to do a video on the corruption in Jackson County, Kentucky against a senior citizen. Give me a shout out at alternativehomesteading@gmail.com, and I will collaborate with you, provide you all the written evidence that they are lying and that they have not provided me with a property assessment and that they have not reassessed my neighbors. You know, my neighbor Jezebel with the blue lights on, you know, the one that lives over there, they put an addition on their house since they lived here. An addition, a deck, a swimming pool, and an entirely new building. I want to know what her new assessment is. And meanwhile, I've torn down multiple buildings. Does that count? Right? I tore down a mobile home trailer, a huge barn because it was flooded. I tore down a building over here. I tore down a building over there. I tore down a coop over here. Yeah, I tore down a whole bunch of buildings here. But there's a little Bobby Brown. It's not Bobby Brown. It's little Bobby Edwards. I'm sorry. For anybody out there that's called Bobby, when you get to be like in your 40s and your 50s and you're still calling yourself Bobby, I mean, most people outgrow the little Bobby thing. they turn into a Rob or a Robert or a Bob. But no, this is still little Bobby Edwards, the pathological liar at the Jackson County PVA. So we're going to call him out, little Bobby Edwards. Show me your letter, and I'm going to be posting the evidence proof online with your assistance, Michaela, her letter to me saying that my property taxes were exonerated February 18th, 2025. And I received no correspondence from you ever since. So anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading signing off from now. And no, I have not seen my Barred Rock girl with the red apron who was attacked this morning, who I believe was stolen from the chicken coop. Signing off for now.